In the Jurassic orchards stands the Holy Trinity Church with its historically valuable pulpit. The town council built the Renaissance Holy Trinity Church from 1560 to 1562 for the new municipal graveyard which had been transferred here from St. Gothard's. Nowadays, the Evangelical Church of Czech Brethren uses it as a chapel. The ground plan is virtually square, closed off by a triangular presbytery. The church is dominated by the Renaissance sandstone pulpit from 1585, made by the Saxon master Wolf Schultes from Plauen. The church has a Renaissance belfry dating from 1571, built as a simple square tower charnel house. Recently, it has been reconstructed and is used for low threshold facilities for children and youth, which is run by the civil association Letsos. In Jurassic orchards there is another monument to the Hussites, the Master Jan Hus statue from the famous Czech sculptor Ladislav Šalón, unveiled in 1921. Behind Jurassic orchards there is the town brewery. The brewery was built by the company Novák and Jan from Bubny. The local brewery's fortunes came to an end in 1968 when it brewed its last beer. The brewery had a pond next to it, which is now used by anglers and offers wonderful walks. Famous people to have studied in this Viennese Secession building, with elements of Renaissance architecture, built by the Prague-based architect Jaroslav Válečka, include Radovan Lukavsky and Ottokar Brousek. Let's take a look at what Cesky Brod has to offer as concerns sports. Football fans will find what they are looking for at the football stadium in Nakutilce Street. Here we can see the juniors in training before a match. In Sokolska Street, not far from the football stadium, lies a tennis grounds. Here there are wonderfully maintained courts where the town's tennis fans train. Their main prizes are proudly displayed. You can work out or pump iron on a visit to the fitness centre in Maria Mayerovej Street. There are a number of exercise machines and a personal trainer too. The range of services is broad, including a solarium, massage and physiotherapy. A new mountaineering wall has been built at the Zhytomyrska Primary School and has become much loved by both the pupils and the general public. The sports hall in Kamenskyho Street can be used for various indoor sports. The town's playgrounds have all been modernised and some new ones have been added, providing fun and safe areas for children to play in. It is also worth mentioning the nearby camp on the edge of town, where it is possible to swim, sunbathe and camp outdoors. Throughout the year, Cesky Brod holds lots of cultural and social events. The Advent Lantern Procession. This event, organised by the civil associations Magrata and Letsos, is held every year, culminating in the Christmas speech by the town's mayor, the lighting of the Christmas tree, and a concert by the local choir Vox Bohemica. The event is also attended by the town guard and their standard bearers. The Three Kings collection is held every year in January. It is a charity event for the needy organised by the Roman Catholic Church. In spring, vintage cars and motorbikes set off from Cesky Brod on the famous Czesko-Brodsky circuit. The first race was held on the 12th of May 1934. The race led from Cesky Brod to Smica, Vrátkov, Kostelec nad Černými lesy, Krupa, Klečky and to Liblica before returning to Cesky Brod. Every competitor had to do 7 laps and the average speed was 50 kilometers an hour. Nowadays, the race is held in a similar spirit to the first, and every year the number of competitors increases. For vintage car fans, it is a truly wonderful experience. The Royal Fording is a celebration put on by the town and includes a historical market, crafts, theatre, jugglers, and culminates in a historical battle with members of the town guard. The town guard in Cesky Brod was at its zenith during the Hussite period, when it counted 100 members. Nowadays it is made up of 30 volunteers from the town's inhabitants. The children from the primary school also take part in the programme, giving it an unmistakable atmosphere. You are cordially invited to this annual event. The surroundings. The surroundings of Cesky Brod are a great place for walks, cycle rides or car trips. We don't have to go far before we find ourselves in Liblica. The village is home to the secondary vocational school, which has more than a century of experience in teaching agriculture and economics. The dominant feature of Liblica are the radio masts. These 2 transmitters broadcast in the medium wave band. They rise to 355 meters and are the highest construction in the Czech Republic. To the north of Cesky Brod lies Stolmierz. According to the Chronicle of Dalimil, there was a farmstead here in the 10th century called Žitomierz, owned by Prince Wenceslas. The farmstead was built to protect the Trstenická path, an important trade route. In 1575, the village, now called Stolmierz, came under the administration of Cesky Brod. The most important architectural monument in Stolmierz is the Church of St. Havel. About 3 kilometers to the southwest of Cesky Brod lies the smallest hamlet in the district. It is a colony by the Mlýnský fish pond, which was originally called Podtuchorářské Gardens, becoming just gardens from 1880. The first houses were built here at the start of the 18th century. Nowadays there is a nature trail leading from Mlýnský fish pond, taking us to the Tuchorářské stronghold. In the village of Tismice, lying southwest of Cesky Brod, there is a Romanesque basilica, the Assumption of the Virgin Mary, which dates from the end of the 12th century. The basilica's naves are separated by alternating pillars and rounded columns. The church is built of brown sandstone blocks with various tones of red. On Sunday, the 30th of May, 1434, two armies faced one another not far from Lipany. On the one side were the radical Hussites, on the other a coalition of moderate Utraquists and Catholics. The battle ended with a decisive victory for the alliance. The battle at Lipany was seen by many as a turning point in history, and this has only gained in credibility over the centuries. An expression of this conviction was the raising in 1881 of commemorative mounds on the rises near Lipany, followed by the building of the Podlipansky Museum in Cesky Brod 15 years later. With the building of the drinking water reservoir on the Zhelivka River at the end of the 1960s, there arose the problem of what to do with the protected folk architecture in the villages that were to be flooded. The solution was to build the Museum of Folk Architecture, which gives us an insight into rural life in the past. It is well worth taking a trip to Cesky Brod, and we firmly believe that its history and cultural events will entice you to pay us a visit. We look forward to seeing you here in Cesky Brod.